journey that you're going through yourself. And so big ups to you for that.
Cheers, man.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you for
Yeah.
having us.
So how did you guys meet?
Culture break.
Culture break. Culture break. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of dancers have come up through that in Canberra.
It does.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about the connections that have been made through that organisation. Yeah, I don't even like remember there being a specific moment like I was introduced to you.
No.
Like I
I
think
don't
I saw
remember
you
either.
at some show on like that light up Segway with like the red
Yeah.
and blue lights flashing, and then I don't know. Then you were just Maurice, that guy that
Yeah.
can dance really well, and I didn't know where you were from or like where you
Yeah.
live or all that sort of stuff. But I do remember you were in Team Rocket, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I remember watching the first sort of culture break show I watched before I was in it was the 2012 like 10-year anniversary show at the Canberra
That was
Theatre.
a long time ago.
Oh yeah, man, it was. And I went because they were going to my school at the time with the like Dance Nation project.
Yep.
So I remember going to that and I saw Team Rocket and I remember you guys started and there was a big like rocket cutout against the back curtain and then you guys came through the door like just splitting the curtain and I was like, that is so dope. I was like, that is so sick. So I that was actually the first time I would have seen you like a little how
Gotten
old
to
was
know
I?
me a little bit.
Little bit,
Voiced
just a
that
bit.
guy, yeah. It's a bit hazy for me because it was such a long time ago, and also all eyes were on us because at the time, because I was in a crew, it wasn't just me. I was like the only black guy in the crew,
Yeah.
and I was very easily recognized, remarkably, recognized because I was with this team of really great dancers, and so some of my fans I didn't even remember them, but then they came up to me, they're like, yeah, oh, we know you, we've been to your performances, AHC, Australian Hip Hop Championships, Hip Hop International, and so I sort of gelled with a few of the people from Culture Break in that way. But before it was Team Rocket, it was actually Limitless Dance Crew. Do you remember that? Or
It rings a bell. I don't think.
Because we had Gary French.
Yeah.
Because actually what happened was, before it was Team Rocket, Gary French was the actual leader of that crew. And then this sort of broke off. I think there was a few people that did leave.
Yeah.
And then it was, because from memory, Isaac left. He was a really great dancer too. It was part of this group that did audition for Australia's Got Talent. They made it right to the very, very top of the competition.
Yeah.
And I think they won, that Justice crew.
Yeah. Did they,
From Sydney. I think they're from Sydney, but yeah. So they had that relation. So they had already collaborated, worked together with that crew.
Yeah.
So Isaac was a really great dancer.
Yeah.
And powerful too, because he had the leadership skills at the time. And so from Limitless Dance Crew, then came Team Rocket, because Will Tran decided, I think we should just start our own thing, start our own name. And then Gary French came up with a name,
Team Rocket.
and then Will Tran, approved of it, and then it just went in its own flow.
Was it like a collaborative sort of crew? Was Will running the show a bit? What was like the dynamic?
It was a bit of everything happening here and there, to be honest. It was no real structure. Transitioning from what it was, the crew that it was, to what it became after it was Limitless Dance Crew.
Yeah.
But what happened was, I think, because there was fight for power.
Yeah.
And this is something that we will touch on as we go along. There was a fight for who has the greater leadership skills, who has and who can be a strong leader, basically, because we had all the dancers there seemed to me like they were all leaders. You had Jack, that later on became just independent and just so anyways, long story short, Will then took over because Isaac left, and then Saloni also left. I don't know what happened. I think just life just happened. And some found partners, some moved away from Canberra, went elsewhere, Adelaide. I don't know where exactly. But I saw that all happen. I saw the crew evolve right from what it was to what it then became afterwards. And so, but yes, it was a collaborative effort in the very beginning. Everyone was chipping in, putting in their part. Saloni, Gary, everyone. So it was great. And I think also it's how I know you, because it's the exact same way I met Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't a formal like, hey, my name is Maurice.
It was just like coming up.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were performing or we were rehearsing or training.
And
then they're just right there. So what's your name? Oh, Jeremy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It's dope.
Yeah.
So just for those who don't know, the culture break scene, what's that all about, and how did that sort of shape your guys' careers? I guess you guys are semi full-time dancers now. How did that work?
Pretty much just started it, shaped it completely. I wasn't like, I was like year 2, year 3 when they have a program called Dance Nation where they go to schools like around ACT, and they just happened to come to my one, thankfully. So I remember some early teachers like Busby, Stephen Keane was coming. Sometimes would bring B-Boy Ill Will, Will Sanchez. And I remember like year 3, like 12-year-old me was like looking at these, like 9-year-old me, sorry, like all these guys doing flips and these insane tricks, and like their body was like water and all these cool things. And I'm like, that's dope. Yeah. I want to do that. That's pretty dope. And then it just kicked off, and then I was just doing 1 class, 2 classes a week. And then sort of 2016, I think, came around. Then I joined their KBDA program, which is like their development academy at the time. And that's where I like started taking it more seriously. So it for me, it just slowly, gradually brought me up onto it. And then just like eased me into that world of dance, hip hop, and sort of just shaped who I am now. So yeah, so it's been good.
I would say the same thing with me. So so this is how it happened for me, just a little different. I went to Trinity Christian School, Waniasa. And then Francis, the founder of Culture Break, Tim-O-Matic, before he went popular.
Yeah.
He was also with Culture Break, actually. So it's like Culture Break has got a lot. We got to go back to our roots, guys.
Yeah.
We can't forget our roots.
It's got a strong alumni, man.
Seriously. So I was at Trinity Christian School. I was going to school there, my high school and college. And they come through this one. They had something during recess. They had this big announcement that the team from Culture Break were coming to perform and stuff like that. So I wasn't sure why they were coming to perform, but they come in to showcase Culture Break. So I saw them perform, and before seeing them perform, I was already like I used to dance for myself, just for fun.
Yeah,
it was just me, my bedroom, and my mirror. That was it. I just never did it for anyone. So when I saw them perform at school, it really sparked something. It was like, wow, okay, this is me. This is where I belong. Like, I know school's great and everything like that, but this is like, instead of PE or extracurricular activity, it's
different.
It's like dance for me is like my default setting. It's like, you see someone perform, it's like that's where you belong. So I then expressed interest. I think I found out from Francis, because they were busking and freestyling at the front there, and everyone was like cheering on.
Yeah.
And then after they were done, I just jumped straight in. No one knew I could dance.
Yeah.
I just jumped straight in.
That was that golden moment.
Yeah, I just started freestyling. Everyone at school were like, "Oh my God, Maurice, we didn't know," and that was the beginning, because, like I said, I just used to do it just for myself. You know what I mean? I never did it to impress anyone. It was just for me. And so that one time when I didn't, it was quite impressive to like most people that were watching me dance right after Culture Break. They were like, "Bro, you should be in a crew. You should do something with your talent. Like, why are you waiting? What are you doing? You should like audition for for a crew up at Culture Break or something." So that was the beginning. And I don't quite remember exactly what year that was, but that was like early 2000s. Like I'm talking 2008, 2009, a long time ago. And I was a kid, just a little kid.
Yeah.
High school. And so, so I asked Francis just a bit more information. So he gave me some more information on Culture Break and what it's about, blah, blah, blah. they called me in on Thursday. I went in, and they had, I think it was workshops or something. They were training. So I just joined in, and I had a look at what people were doing there. And then there was a crew, Limitless Dance crew.
Yeah.
Francis introduced me to the boys, but at the time it was just, you know, those guys, Isaac, Saloni, Gary, KG's brother, little brother, Steve. Yeah, they were all in Limited. They were all there. Stephen, oh my God, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I joined. So before I joined, I auditioned. They called me and they said, "Hey, next week we're gonna have an audition. If you want to join, sure." Do you remember a guy? Do you recognize a guy called Liam Ferrari? Nah. Do you know a guy called Liam Ferrari?
I've definitely heard of someone I've heard James talk about him or something. I don't know him
Liam Ferrari
personally.
is famous. Like, he's big. He is.
His last name's Ferrari. Sounds famous.
Yeah. Liam was this little white kid, you know, the same age as me at the time, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really get to know a lot of people at the time. I was just getting to know them because I was new. Liam Ferrari has got like millions and millions of views. There's like on YouTube, millions of views. He was like the Justin Bieber of Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still is, but yeah. I remember meeting him, right? But no one knew who he was. He didn't know me. The guys over at Culture Break didn't know who he was, except forgotten her name. Steve's
Maddie. Madison.
Yes.
Maddie. Yeah.
Maddie. Yep, Madison. She knew him.
So he was big at the time.
He wasn't even big at the time.
I wasn't, but she just knew.
No, but he was like super skilled. Like, yeah. Yep, that's the guy.
Yep.
That is the guy. Like, pick any video up there. I'm sure it's got heavy views. This one was last week and it's got like 28,000 views already. Yeah. 2.5 2 years ago. 2.5.
Now you bring it up. I think I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, from Canberra. See, this is all Canberra. It's Canberra, guys.
I did not know this guy was from Canberra.
Yeah,
I've
3.2
never
million.
You looked at you wouldn't even
Last year.
think he's from Canberra.
I know, right?
King size bed.
Never heard of him.
2.5 million.
I know.
3.2.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So this guy was there with me, just ready to audition
No way.
for Limitless Dance Crew. He is, bro. And this was the thing. This and again, we'll touch on this as we go along. Humility. People are not very humble. You know what I mean? When they're coming up, you know what? You're super talented. You got a big ego, and this and that. And so the reason why Will Tran did not quite like him was because people felt like he was up himself. But
Yeah.
I mean, he had talent to showcase, and he should have fairly been judged for his talent and not that, and maybe given a chance to express himself a bit more, warm up to people, and then maybe they could get to know him a little bit, and then people can, maybe he could then also change his ways. But he was this guy that was, coming in. He's got talent. He just wants to show it, and maybe even make his way into the crew. I don't know, but the judgment was, nah, he's too up himself. He shouldn't be a part of the crew. So anyway, I got chosen, and there was a few other people that did perform. I performed, and people loved my performance. They're like, "Holy moly, who is this dude?" So I joined in. I think I was like the 7th guy that joined Limitless Dance Crew, and there was like a few other people that did audition for it, like 15 or 20 something people.
All right.
So I was lucky to have made it to the crew. But yeah, that was the guy, and yeah, it like you said, this flow, it just took a direction. We didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
It just took its own direction. From Limitless Dance Crew, it became Team Rocket. The guys from Sydney Fly Crew, they came through. We collaborated. We even at some point we actually almost became a crew. At some point, like Fly Crew and Team Rocket, because with that, we had that stronger bond. we weren't even like friends. We were like brothers.
Yeah.
Every time we would hang out. David McLean.
Yeah.
You know, was it James Barry, those guys,
JB.
you know, and man, JB, bro, all these guys, and that was when it started to like evolve. I started to see things from my perspective. I started to see things like it was great that bond was happening, and there was a few people coming in as well after the ones that did leave. Jack Keogh came in. A few others also came in, and it just started to evolve slowly started to evolve. And I was in 2012, it was going great. 2013 going great. 2014 I started noticing like there was favorites, you know. Will Trent liked hanging out with this guy, and this guy liked hanging out with that guy, and so and then for me, I'm just in the middle. I'm like, I'm this guy that just wants to hang out with everyone.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
I don't want to.
there for it.
I don't want. I didn't like the politics in dance, and I was all in for the growth of our dance community, and that was why the guy called Ho, I can't remember his name, H-O, literally, he created Canberra Dance Community, a Canberra Dance Community page on Facebook, and so all the dancers from in Canberra would then link and, you know, share and this and that. Fresh Funk, but the girls, Bliss, all of them, they all were a part of this, you know, dance community, and we performed at the Australian Multicultural Festival, and it was going great. 2015, 2016, and because I noticed that there was a bit of politics happening there, I just decided, you know what I mean, like, you know, I love everyone. I didn't want the division. You know what I mean? I didn't like the picking people picking their favorites. It's just like, come on, guys, just look past that. This thing's bigger than us. We should do better than this. You know what I mean? So I decided to then also just individually, like, just break off from everyone, but still be friends with everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Do your own thing.
Yes.
Keep connected.
So like, what's that crew in that starts starts with the P. Project Beats.
Oh, Project One.
Project Beats. Yeah, Project One.
They're like their
Beats.
top crew,
Yes.
and there's like Project Two. Yeah.
Project Beats. Yes.
Yeah,
Project
that's the
Beats.
studio.
PB.
Yeah. Project Beats.
Yeah. But I wanted to be friends with everyone,
Yeah.
basically. I just wanted to be like, and grow, learn and grow. I wanted to be the small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
Just growing. I wanted to be the dumbest kid in class so I could learn off of all these really smart individuals. I didn't want to be the biggest one.
Yeah, in a small
You know?
pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have no room to
That's
grow.
a
Or like
good way of putting it. Yeah.
I didn't want to be the smartest one in class because then I wouldn't be learning much, you know what I mean? So I saw myself like, okay, I've got so much to learn. There's so many styles. There's hip hop, there's this, there's jazz, there's that contemporary, there's ballet, there's this, that, you know? Hence why James C. once decided, you know, I mean, let me break off and do my ballet thing. Because when me and James C. was by backstory, James C. once grew up with us, you know, a culture break. So one of the pioneers of, you know, culture break, the culture break movement, empower, encourage a generation to keep growing through dance. So, yeah, so because birds of the same feather, we always hung out, and he thought very much like me. It's like, why don't I try this? Why not try that? Why not be friends with this person and that person? So it just took a flow of its own. So and it became what it became. So for me, I'm here because of culture break. Yeah. So yeah.
And yeah, you touched on it before that you don't often hear about people doing hip hop and ballet and contemporary.
Yeah.
How did that come about for you, man?
Well, it came first off, well, I should say sort of 2016 when I kicked off dance a bit more. I was like, I just got into this state of like, I was just there to dance. It was just there to get better. So whatever way I could, I would. That was like 2016, 2017 dance. 2017, I started talking to a couple of my teachers, Xander and Kel, who are from Sydney, and they were telling me, you know, go to this dance school in Sydney, go do these classes, go try out that. So I started branching out a bit, but it wasn't really until James went over and he did the same full-time course that I'm doing currently, and he went in 2018 to do it. And I remember just like it was end of the year and he just brought it up out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, I'm doing ballet. And I'm like, what? Like ballet? What? Like, you ever done ballet? But I've never done. Who's done ballet here? Like, it's like, I don't know anyone that does ballet. And he goes off and does it. And he's just telling me, bro, it's so good. He's like, my hip hop's getting better. My footwork, I'm getting stronger. He's showing me photos of like 1 week and the second week, and there's a noticeable difference and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I need to get on that. And then one day he gives me a call and he's like, bro, would you come full time? Like if like I was to give you the opportunity, like, would you come? I was like, yeah, I'd go do ballet. And he's like, all right, well, like my teacher's looking for some more boys. 'Cause boys, not even just in ballet, like in the dance community in general, there can be a lot more boys. Like boys are like a bit of a rarity, sort of just in the dance community, and especially in ballet, and even especially in Australia, even more so. So I started in 2019, and yeah, it's a different sort of training. It's completely like you just get thrown in the deep end and you're there in class and there's like, 15 other people all at bar knowing what they're doing and you're just there completely out of your element. And then it's like you sort of, like I was saying in that 2016-17 phase, you get into like a hyper-focused state where like the first term went by so fast. It got to like term 3 of that year. And I'm like, wow, I've already done like 2-3 terms of this, because you just get so focused on picking everything up and, just like you're just taking in everything. Like you're like a sponge in class. Yeah. You're the small fish in the big pond.
You're just absorbing all that knowledge.
You're like everything they say, you're just like, yep. And you're just taking on, you're doing it and you're working on it and you're perfecting it. And you're just like, and that's the start. And I'm only in my second year now. Heading towards the end of the year. So I've only been doing it 2 years. So I'm still like, even now I'm still trying to piece it together and try to figure out. And it's really interesting the effect it's had on my hip hop and my breakdance and other stuff, because I have such a classical approach to other stuff now. Yeah. Like I have people come up to me and tell me, you stand so much like a dancer, because I'll be standing in like first position turned out, and they're like, you're such a dancer. Like, oh, you're that ballet guy. And I'm like, man, like a year ago you probably wouldn't even say I look like a dancer. Like, it's crazy the difference it really makes. I think the main difference would be that I've sort of got from it, that I've really taken away from the ballet, is sort of not even more so the dance side, but it's just like the work ethic that's behind it. Because ballet, man, it's like, I heard this thing once where it's like ballet got compared to like the UFC, because like if like no one's gonna go into the UFC half-hearted. Like if you get punched in the face, yes, and you don't want to get punched in the face and you don't want to be there, you're just gonna leave. Same with ballet. If you're gonna go into ballet and like be not willing to give it 100% and like have your feet torn apart and like your muscles so sore and like be training at ridiculous hours and everything, you're just gonna leave. Like it naturally, you might as well not go. Yeah, like it naturally like weasels out like the people that don't want to be there. Yeah. So it's that sort of work ethic and mentality it gives you, just to put that towards everything. That's like a big difference I've seen in hip hop, because now whenever like I look at the time, I'm thinking, what can I do in the next hour that will be productive? How long? Like I'll plan out the next 2-3 hours of my day just because of ballet, because it's so structured. I'm like starting to plan the rest of my life. Like, I'm going to shower from this time to that time, get dressed, head out.
This is what food I'm going to eat.
Yeah, I'm going to warm up from this time to that time. I'm going to leave that amount of time for stretching. I'm going to make sure I roll out before I go to bed, stretch, all this stuff. So it's made a big difference. And like my ballet still, like it's pretty mediocre, like getting like compared to, because people spend their life doing ballet. Like from when they're, 3-4 people, like they hand pick people to do ballet. They like look at your body and they look at your turnout and all these things, and they hand pick people. So for me to do it 2 years, that's like a blink for people that do it for their whole life. So I've only had a glimpse really into what, the lifestyle and everything, but it makes such a big difference. Yeah. And it's so different from hip hop. It's like such a contrasting style. Just how the classes are and the the sort of the approach people have to the classes and all that sort of stuff. So,
So where do you want to? Have you found you want to take it further now? Or
that's a hard one.
What's the goal? Yeah.
Well, I'm absolutely continuing it. That's for sure. Whether that's
not half-hearted.
Yeah, you can't. Well, it's hard, man. Because it's like you start it when you're 15 and you get like, I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting good progress. And then you look at people that have been doing it since they're 6 and you're like, is there any hope? You're like, is there any hope? Because you see these 10-year-olds that are doing 20 more pirouettes than you and you're like, far out. I've got a way to go. Yeah. So I'm
kind of like, imagine it's like switching a code for a footballer.
Yeah.
Like going from rugby league to AFL or something.
Yeah, it's like same ball, different field. I guess that's a good analogy. Like it's dance, but it's a hell of a lot different from hip hop, hell of a lot different from breakdance.
UFC to professional boxing, Conor McGregor style.
Yeah, literally. You're switching over to Mayweather here, and I'm getting my ass kicked right now. It's hard. So I think we're going to be doing some auditions here and there to see if there's any places, in Europe or even Australia that are, that are willing to take me. It's good having that hip hop background, because in contemporary, you have such good isolation and like fluidity.
Yep.
So there's so many different things you can bring to a class and like what a choreographer could want, which is a really good thing. But yeah, I've been also looking at sort of commercial. There's like a full-time sort of thing in Sydney I've been looking at, which is like a 3-month program where it's just like 3 months of just straight training. And then afterwards, there's no actual you don't get anything from it like an actual whatever. I'm losing my words.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I know
training.
what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Qualification. There's no qualification you get from it, but it's just like 3 months of training. So I was even looking at that for next year, just to push myself that little bit further. But yeah, so I guess wherever the world takes me.
Interesting. Yeah, it's I would say the same with me. Look, we're on a journey and different paths, but it's like the same journey. Where let's say that's the finish line right there.
Yeah.
Right? You're on a journey of your own, and we know that the goal is to get to the finish line there. And however long it takes you is really, really up to you. Like it's a journey that you take when you're going from this, or just like getting better at what you do as a dancer. Your style, your movement, your diversity, how limber you are, your flexibility, your this, your strength, your speed, your blah blah blah. So in many ways it's similar, because my journey is the same thing, except it's like in a different style. Yeah, it's a different style. So in some ways, yes, it is different than what you have to go through. But in some ways also it is similar, because for me, I find that going through this journey where I'm like soaking up all this knowledge, dance hall, and a bit of like salsa, because I've taken salsa classes, I've taken salsa classes, I've taken bachata classes, I've taken, do you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. And what I learn, I try my best. First I just calm myself down and I'm like, okay, so I'm a dancer, yes, but that does not mean I can smash this style of dance. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I could learn any style of dance and perfect it. The point is, if I'm able to learn a different style, just even give it a try, I could take some knowledge from that style of dance and maybe even incorporate it in my way of movement, which could be any style. It could be hip hop, it could be Afro beats, Afro dance or Afro fusion. It could be contemporary, all those styles I've done, because I've also done musicals. I don't know if you know, but I've also done musicals, and there was a bit of contemporary in it and stuff like that. And so I was chosen because, one, I'm African, I'm black, and they were looking for some African guys at the time for Hairspray.
All right.
Yeah, they couldn't find any, so they're like, are there any black guys? Oh, okay. Actually, someone sent me a message And yeah, straight away they called me up and said, "Hey, what's your background? Hip hop. This that. Oh, what agencies have you worked with? Oh, Culture Break. Okay, sure. We'll have you come in." I went in. I auditioned. This is our guy. Straight away, they had me in. The singing side of it, I wasn't great, but I did try. I was good at singing along with others, but if I had to like sing alone, it would be terrible. So I evolved, and so this same journey, it's like you still gotta have that humility in you. You still gotta be, obviously, like humble. You just gotta humble yourself and just be ready to learn more. Just be that absorbent person to just take on whatever is whatever is out there that's taught to you. So I've grown so much, very much like yourself. I've grown so much, and I've become more diverse in my style. I'm not just locked into just one style, which is still fine if for people that do really want to like explore and find just that one thing that they're good at. That's fine. For me, I find there's more diversity. I feel like I can move more bones and more, more muscle groups here and there if I can try something different. So, and I've never been afraid to try new things. So
that's good.
Something good that
on that musical theatre note. Yeah, that's funny that you bring that up because the exact same things happened to me this year. Yeah, I'm in Mamma Mia, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's first.
Enlighten us, tell us.
First musical.
Expand a bit more on that. We want to hear this.
My director of my school right now, he sends me a message last week of the last holidays. Yeah. So it's like Friday night. I'm just sitting in my room. I get a message from him saying that there's auditions the next day back in Bowral for Mamma Mia. And they're actually looking for more boys. And they're looking for ones that sort of ethnic look.
Right.
Can do hip hop as well as some acrobatics and that sort of stuff, but diverse in styles. And they went to my director see if they had any boys. And he sent them a video of me just dancing, whatever. And then they were like, "Yep, if you could get him to come along, that'd be awesome." So he hits me up. I'm like, "Yep." I was like at first when he told me, I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Like I'm pretty busy at the moment. I'm not sure if a musical on my plate would be too much or if I could handle that." And I was like, there was that moment where I'm like, "Oh, should I?" And then I'm just like, yes, I'll do it. Yep. I'll do it. So I head off the next day. I walk in. The second I walk in, I walk into this like big studio just full of people lined up around the edge, and they're like, "Here he is. Here he is. There's Pepper. There he is. There's the dancer." And I'm like, "Nice to meet you." I'm like, "Whoa, all right." And they're all introducing me to them, and I'm like having a chit chat, and they're like, "Yep, all right, well, we're gonna have some other dancers here in about an hour or so you can have a warm up." And then we just went through an audition, and by the end of it, it was a pretty easy audition. And by the end of it, they're like, "Oh, as good as the video, honestly." They're like they're in love, and. And so I got the part, and then so now I'm playing Pepper in Mamma Mia.
Wow.
Yeah, like so random. I didn't even.
That was exactly my experience when I auditioned for Hairspray.
It changed in a minute after that phone call. That 24 hours later, now I've got the part in a musical.
It was almost like you already had it. They just wanted to see you rock up.
That's what it was. 4 weeks after rehearsals start, I've been doing those for about a month and a little bit now. Dancing's going good. Acting, it's getting an American accent. No, starting to get there. Yeah. Singing, dreadful by myself. With in a group, I can sort of harmonize. I can get through it. Yeah. By myself, I'm working it. But it's funny that you brought that up because I was
the
like,
acting part, I think you would nail. I don't know. You look like someone that would nail the acting part. I'm not too sure about the accent, but
the accent.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I'm working on the American accent.
Hey, look, if I had to, give the American accent a crack, I don't think I would do too well, to be honest. But
it's funny because everyone I'm doing it with just know it.
Oh, how are they gonna do it now?
They're having 10 shows, and I think what they're doing is, everyone in the theater is wearing masks. I think that's just a mandatory, requirement.
What kind of masks are these? Are you talking about like COVID-19 masks or just like masks?
I think just the
Lion King
face masks.
Okay, all right. The Lion King type masks. Mamma Mia. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think I'm not sure if they're gonna do like sort of groups of people, so you can have like a family here and then 3 rows between and like 4 seats side by side. Barrel. So it'll be up in Southern Highlands. So I'm not sure if they're doing that or if they're just each person has to be like 3 seats across and then like 2 rows between. I think out of like a theater with 500 something seats, they're holding like 200 something people, and then there'll be like 10 shows, like 5 matinee and like 5 evening. Yeah,
that's really good. How you doing with the traveling and all of that?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's
2 hours. 2 hours is like, if it was like 6 hours, like,
yeah.
It's like,
so 2 hours from here, right?
Yeah.
And then
so
2 hours back. Okay.
So it's like, it's sort of like, I'll just listen to music, or I'll put on a podcast or something. Probably put on this podcast next time, but, and it's like, it's started to go quicker. Like after the first hour and you're like past Goulburn, it's like you blink and you're there. Like it's all right. So I've sort of gotten used to it. I hear some people like 2 hours. How do you do that? Twice a week, 3 times a week?
No, we do that a lot too. Me and my guy Pascal.
You guys travel heaps.
Yeah,
you're always Sydney,
and it's nothing
Melbourne.
to us now.
Yeah,
because we have each other, and we always engage in conversations, and it just goes really quickly. 3 hours, 3.5 hours, we're there.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Oh, cheers, man.
Wishing you all the best.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited. The process, I was excited at first. I was nervous at first, because I'd never done a musical. I mean, I still really haven't, but I've sort of done like a lot of other aspects of dance. Like I had started branching out. I've done a lot of different styles. I've done plenty of gigs now and like sort of corporate performances, and I've started like sort of making more of a sort of a profile for myself. Like I know I've done this and that and these styles, and I'd never done a musical. Like
so that's really something you can put down on your resume too.
So I'm like why the hell not? And I think it's the process that I'm loving right now. Just being in that state, with your group of 5 6 people that you're in the scene with, and you're just going back and forth with the director, and you're just working on. He's like, how about you say that a bit differently, or make that a question, or how about you stand this side, and it's just like that process and mixing and matching.
And it all makes sense once you've gone.
And then when it clicks,
that,
you're like, that's dope. And then you're on to the next thing, and then it's
you'll know exactly what he wants.
You have that moment, obviously, because everyone doing it. We're all we're all in the same profession. We're all dancers. We're all actors. We all have that creative mind. So when it does click, and you're like with the director, you're like, I completely I've got you. It's all up here. It works, and it pieces together and puzzles together nicely. So so it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to like the end product. So
that's really good. Yes, I went through that myself, and I even auditioned for The Lion King. That was so much fun.
Where was that?
But that was in Sydney. Before it exploded, and before they started traveling all across different states and stuff. I auditioned over in Sydney at its early stages. And that was really good. Just auditioning for it was really good. I made it to the next round. But then the next round was when I had a bit of an injury, and so I couldn't make it to the very next round. And so they became stricter as it went up stages. So I couldn't commit, because at the time I was also still at university. Did I start uni? Nah, I wouldn't have started uni just yet. I was in college, so I was just finishing up college, and again, influence from my people. They're like, you got to perform your best. You know what I mean? We need you. It's always about that. It depends who you grow up with. Like for me, my people, no matter what it is, no matter what your interest is, you could be super interested in dance, or I don't know, art, or whatever it is, or playing musical instruments. But if you don't have some sort of academic sort of achievement, then you've done nothing with yourself, with your life, which is not the right way to look at things. But
sort of the way
for me, for me, it was like growing up. It's like you've got to have that piece of paper. You know what I mean? And at your age, you've got to before you're 18, get your year 12 sorted, and then you can move on. You can do whatever it is you want. At least balance. You can do whatever you want, but as long as you
get that,
as long as you focus on your studies and complete, and graduate, then it's all good. And so for me, those were 2 things that I found really difficult to balance. And so, because that was like my, my uni, my school work and my social life. Just trying to balance that it was a bit of a challenge. So I had The Lion King, which I also really struggled because I had in my head, I was like, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I can't call in sick. I can't. You've got to commit. Once you're in, you're in. Do you know what I mean? So you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fall sick today and then just have a day off or So it became really difficult for me. So I didn't really make it, but I saw that as an opportunity to like further my dancing skills and stuff. And so it also gave me this recognition in myself that yes, I can do it too. Do you know what I mean? It was like, wow, okay, I can do it. And if another round, I mean, if we do have any other auditions coming up, I can audition for this. But it's just, I think it wasn't at the right time, right place at the right time. Yeah. So
yeah.
Oh well, but we're here now.
And now you've sort of taken it more to the online space.
Yes, I've taken it to it. Yes, actually, there's a lot to talk about, but I'll try and like summarize a lot of it I've got to say. Yeah, the evolution of how I started to what I am now. Yeah. So some of the videos, I think the first one, if you can have a look at it, the first one that I did send. There's a bit of a backstory to this one, actually. So this one, look, this wasn't even that long ago, but this is, but this was, so this was like with I think it was what was it? It was an iPhone 4.
Yeah.
I don't remember, iPhone 5 or 6. I don't remember. I think it was a 6.
Yeah.
Quality wasn't great, but this is hip hop right here. And so I put this up. This was actually Arendelle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. I know where that is. That's
this,
in front of it.
Yeah. Zambrero is just over here around the corner here, and then you got this. So this is like the clinic. I don't even know. I think a medical center or something like that. So, yeah. So this is what you're seeing right now. This is my background in dance. This is how I started. This was me being influenced by people like Genuine, people like Usher, people like Omarion, people like Michael Jackson, all those really big artists back in the early 2000s, even late 90s,
Yeah.
Because I started dancing really young, 5, 6, 7. I was dancing 9, 10, 11. But then, yes, like I said, I took a flow of its own and then brought us to the next part. I think maybe this video will show us a little bit of that. Sure. Yes, this was when I met Pascal.
This is it.
Yeah, so 2018, we met. Funny story. Now, I'm going to keep this really brief because it's a long story. I'm going to keep it brief. How I met Pascal. This is a long while ago. Look at how skinny we looked.
Yeah.
There was a guy that always DJ'd. His name was Jacob. He used to live here in Canberra. There's a lot of talent in Canberra. Just people just decide to leave Canberra because they're looking for bigger ponds out there to keep growing. So this guy called Jacob, he introduced the both of us. But the way he did it was, I found it quite interesting. He invited me to go to this place called, I think it was Treehouse, or wherever they have Vibes Entertainment. So it was like an Afro event that they have. They used to have it once every month, so on a Friday. So I can't remember what Friday it was, but we would go to that event, and it was at nighttime, so when people were going out and stuff. He introduced me. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna be DJing my last time before I head over to Perth. I'm moving to Perth. So if you could come, I'd like you to meet someone. I would love you to meet someone that I do know." But he didn't tell me who this person was, whether he was a dancer. He didn't tell me. He just said, please come. It's going to be it's going to be awesome. Just please be there. So I was like, dude, I'm here to, support, you know what I mean? So, and I love your vibes, man. I'll be there for you. I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll be there. And then Pascal, he told me his side of the story, and exact same thing. He was invited to that, and they were friends too, but I didn't know who Pascal was.
Yeah.
So we met that night, and then Jacob mentioned it to Pascal. I remember I could overhear it when he was mentioning it to Pascal. It was like, Pascal, you're like my favorite dancer here in Canberra, but you've got one rivalry, just one. Like, who is that guy? Cummy, let me introduce you.
He's right
This
here.
is Maurice. I'm like, oh, hi. And then we met.
I'm your rival.
and we met. Boom, that connection. He was like, guys, just take it away. So, no, usually what happens when you meet people that are dancers that are really good, usually what happens, like for me, you see them dance and then you dance, and then you see them dance and then you dance. It's almost like it's a competition, but you're all there, out there for, it's good vibes. So when we were dancing, we looked like we had known each other for years. Like we were so synchronized. It was like we knew it. Like
there was just that like connection. Yeah.
It was like it was like almost like in the previous world we had already met, and we were in a crew, and we're dancing together. And people were like, "Are you guys dancers?" Yeah, we are, but we don't know each other. Like, you guys dance like you guys are in a crew or something. Are you a duo? And that's how it started. So then brings us to this. That was the very next year. So there were a few dance videos that we did before this, obviously after 2018. But this is like the evolution of it. So here was when we started hanging out, shooting together, doing duos, duets, the blah, blah, blah. We took it next level here. We tagged an artist called Eisteddfod, because his style, his genre is like Afro dance. So this was the moment when we actually started like exploding. This was that moment. She get 25 likes on the Instagram. See, on the Instagram. She get 25 likes on the Instagram. See,
oh yeah,
on
this
the
set.
Instagram. So now, shortly after this, right, the artist of this song, actually, it just so happened, we didn't even plan. It wasn't like we called him to come to Australia. There were people from Melbourne that organized for this dude to come over to Australia. And it was some nightclub. I don't remember what nightclub it was in Melbourne, but they hosted him. He came around, and someone put in a good word for us because they saw this video and they're like, dude, you got to meet these two dancers. They danced to your song, and then he checked it out. It's like, yo, I need these dancers on my I need these dancers. I'm performing with these dancers. And so that's how it happened. It was someone, it's like this person, I've got to give the props to Lihini. Lihini is a good friend of ours, what we've known as well. She put in a good word in for us. And so that's how we got the gig. So we rolled in, we got to meet A-Star, and he's doing really big right now in Afro dance. He's like one of the biggest artists in Afro dance. It's the one that makes people dance these days. People from all different, walks of life, ethnicities, whatever your background is, Asian, this, what, Australian, Venezuelan, I don't know, Venezuelan, I don't even know. But yeah, all these people, all these dancers from Finland, everywhere, all dancing to his songs. So we were privileged. It was such a great window of an opportunity to perform with this guy. We couldn't say no, because at that time, it just coincided with this other birthday of like a friend of ours that was having her birthday. And so coincidentally, when he was performing that night, we were called, and so we just decided, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. It was a Saturday, so we went, and we met him, and then straight away it's like, guys, just do your thing. Just do your thing. And we're gonna jump on stage and we're gonna perform. Just do your thing. So we did our thing, and by the end of it, A-Star was in love. It was like, you are the most incredible dancers I've met in Australia. Because at the time, because he had already toured like Adelaide, Sydney, and then he went over to Melbourne, So this was another one. Actually, that was earlier. This is even earlier. We danced to another song of his, Ballet, by A-Star.
Lihini.
That's Lihini right there.
I took one class from her in Sydney.
Yep. Yeah,
Felt so
she even came.
uncoordinated after Afrobeats does.
Yeah, we've grown so much. Oh my goodness, that's Rachel at the back there too. This is Pascal, the guy that I'm talking about. So yeah, you can see we got same pants, cons on. Yeah. So yeah, this is how we continued that wave of ours, that flow of that rhythm of just taking things to the next level, and people were quite loving it. And so we continued with that energy,
Mm.
and we started teaching dance classes because of it, and it became what it became.
Yeah,
today,
you
so.
guys have had a really good, like in the last, from like a social media standpoint, in the last year to 2 years, you've had such like, a noticeable like slight increase constantly. Like
Yeah.
you're just on that constant wave.
Yeah.
Next thing. Because I remember seeing these videos like last year and even 2018, that first video.
Mhm.
I remember seeing those and I'm like, yeah, it's dope. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, sick dance vid. And then like, you know, then we're seeing you guys in Bondi and there's
Yeah.
more people. And then you started teaching, classes here and there. And it's like,
It just went up and up and up.
yeah.
And onwards.
There's that just constant like
Yeah.
improvement and like,
Absolutely. Nah, you're right. You're right. Because I did notice it with other guys that we were dance friends with. They'll start something big, they're doing really great, and then silence.
yeah.
Ah, man. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
But it's the politics. So it's the politics.
It's
there.
always,
I
yeah,
don't like-
some
I don't
internal
like the
affair that
politics.
gets to.
Yeah.
And how has the like accessibility of filming and just posting stuff
Oh my
changed
God.
like dance? Do you think like obviously with TikTok and Instagram and stuff, how's that like sparked you and the people around you?
How much time do you have, man? Because I could talk forever.
We got
It's just
hours,
so
man.
much-
He will go till
Bro.
the AM.
Yo, we need to grow. Canberra, guys, we've got all we need.
So
We
much
got-
potential.
We've got Nick. We've got all these guys. We got you guys. But the politics is what's killing us. Look, remember last time when Davo was, just before I touch on that, Davo was shooting a a music video. He invited me. I said, no worries, I'll be there. I'm free. I will be there. I had nothing on. I said, I will be there. He knew me as this really great dancer. He's like, I want you to be on my dance video. Music video. I said, yeah, sure, I'll be there. I made it. Collaborated, pushed his music. And this is what we need here in Canberra. Your question was, how are we doing with accessibility with, shooting stuff and videography and stuff like that? Is it correct? Is that what your
just
question
the
was?
fact that social media now has made it so easy to get out there and collaborate and get your work shown around the world instantly. How has that sort of changed the dance scene?
It's changed a lot, and this message is actually also to you, Sameer, because it's so hard to find people that can actually like bring out your best work. Having to rely on videographers, photographers that can actually show off your good talent. It's just much easier now. Basically your question just answers itself, because now we have TikTok, we have Instagram Reels. You're able to like whoop out your phone, you know what I mean, and just shoot yourself dancing. That's just enough to really create some good traffic. People like really interested in your content.
Yeah.
You know, like all you have to do is just set aside some time and have your own little speaker. You don't even have to have a speaker these days. You just have a video, a sound that you can use on TikTok. For instance, I'll just give you an example. You can use a sound on TikTok that when you put your phone like that and you selfie yourself, right? That song is already there, just ready to go. You just tap record and it plays straight off the phone. So the sound quality is not going to sound distorted or anything like that. By the way, 80% of the videos that I shoot are actually coming straight from my speaker. So the majority of TikTok dancers out there, because there is a difference, dancers and TikTok dancers, you know. The majority of TikTok dancers.
What is that difference?
That difference
some people might not know.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So TikTok dancers are people that do they dance to trending styles of dance. So on TikTok, you'll find people doing
sort of stuff,
hit the quan, ha 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 ha, or it could be anything.
Following like the trending moves.
Yes. The backpack. I don't know, backpack
boy.
kid.
Yeah. Flossing.
It's any of the trending type dance styles. And you can tell, you could just tell anything that is trending that'll end up on TikTok, you'll be able to recognize it. Right? The first 2 seconds you'll be able to recognize that's a TikTok dance style or TikTok dance. You'll just know straight away. And there are heaps of them. They're going viral. They're going all over the place. So
But
I'm just
some of your stuff is also then becoming
popular.
trending.
Yes.
And what's it like to be able to show your roots like that on social media? Like
It's
yeah.
Thank you.
Because what you're doing is totally unique.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
In Australia and around Canberra anyway.
Absolutely. It is unique in a way because I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. Everyone else so people on TikTok. Now, that's not to say that I'm super unique. There's no one else that's doing it quite like me. That's not what I'm trying to say here. It's partly what I'm trying to say, but it's not, it's not fully what I'm trying to say. I've brought my own vibe to the style of dances of dance that I already have in me. So my background, hip hop. I've picked up dancehall. I've picked up a bit of contemporary here. I also picked up, like I said, salsa, bachata, all these dance styles. See, when I wind my waist like that, where am I getting that from? See, so there are all these other, coupé décalé from like Central West Africa, South Africa, guara guara. I taught that like last time we had a routine. So there is uniqueness in it because, yes, there are people that are doing it. I'm not the only one that's doing it, but I'm also putting my own vibe to it, which even makes it even more unique. So I'm having like, it's almost like a beautiful conflict of all these dance styles that I'm putting together that's making it so unique. And everyone's like, what is going on? This video. And so, by the way, on Instagram, I've never had, I think I showed Sameer this video on Instagram this last time. It's in one of the videos that I did send you. I've never had that many likes on a video. It had like 1,200 and something likes. And the views were just mind-blowing. The comments, just insane. And it was just from that one move that people were like, yo, what? And again, which brings me back to, yes, there are people that have done it before me. And the only thing was I put my own flow to it. Yes. I put that, and then that's what made it unique.
Yeah.
So like the moonwalk, okay? If I do the moonwalk, it's going to look different from how you're going to do it. It's going to look different to how Michael Jackson did it. But it's how you do it. So, and then people ask me, how did you do that? Can you explain to me? And I explain it to them. And then they go, but no, it's not looking quite like yours. And I'm like, guys,
it won't.
No, it's not going to look exactly like mine.
Yeah.
You've just got to, see, this is the one. Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that this is then going on for other people recreating it, and it circulates around like.
Yo,
you got this going.
Nick, I've seen there's people, right, that I've taken, because I did a tutorial on this move called leg work. I did a tutorial. I explained it, and there was heaps of comments of people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm still trying this. It's not working." It's been months. Some people are not getting it. It's been like 4 months, 5 months. Some people are still like the people that are still not getting it. And then there's some that have gotten the move. They've gotten the steps, but it's not looking exactly like mine. So I'm like, that's your own uniqueness, right? You've put your own touch to it, but you've got the steps, and that is the actual dance style. I mean, not the dance style, but rather the dance move. You know what I mean? So I've noticed. So this is the tutorial. From beginner to intermediate to advanced. So levels. So it just takes you from step by step. So I've noticed the people that did actually add me, some of them that did comment, that some of them have tagged me in their videos. They've taken my idea because I shared it. I shared it to the world. I just said, this is what I do. This is my own flavor. This is me. I never was like, oh yeah, that's me. That's my signature. You should not do it like me. I didn't say that. I said you can try and do it like me, but I can't get you to do it exactly like me. Yeah. So you can take that knowledge and use it to your advantage, whatever. Just be more you at the end of it, learn the steps, whatever. But I can't teach you to, really crack those knuckles like
You can't
like I
teach
can,
someone
you know?
to dance like
Yeah.
yourself. You can teach them
Exactly,
to
because
dance.
the length of my arm is not going to be exactly the same as yours.
Yeah.
You know, my legs is not going to be the same. My upper torso might be shorter than yours. Yours might be longer than mine. So it's just take on the steps that you've learnt, and then.
And that's kind of the beauty of like dance, that it is
Yes.
like so unique. Everyone's bringing their own style and flavour to it.
That's
Yeah.
what they say. That's like how you have. That's the big difference between the a dancer and like a great dancer, a good dancer and a great dancer, is that they have that thing about them that's so recognizable. Like I can be like, oh, he's a dancer, or I can be like, that's Maurice.
Yeah.
You know, like you hear in class all the time. As you get better and better, that gets to the point where the teachers, they're just giving you the steps. It's up to you to make it into something. The teachers are always like, put your own flavor onto it. I want you to, keep the steps the same, change something about it. Make that, I want to see that move, become your move.
Yeah.
Not just
Because even if you didn't try to make it like your own, it's still going to look different.
Yeah.
Like it's still going
You
to.
can never do it the exact same.
There was a comment, because I get heaps of comments, like hundreds and hundreds of comments on my TikTok videos. There's one comment that was, there's so many, but this one is the one that I can remember just off the top of my head. There's a guy that did a duet to my video, and you could look side by side. This guy was actually nailing it. He's like the most recent one that I've seen that's actually quite gotten it almost close to like perfect. So there was a comment that said, or the guy on the left, which was the other guy, the guy on the left makes it look like a dance workout.
Yeah.
And and then the guy on the right, which was me, because I was the one that actually started it, right? So because he was duetting my video, the guy on the right looks more like a dancer, and now the other guy looks like more like a dance. I don't know, like a work. His dance looked more like a workout.
Fitness,
yeah. So I'm like, you see, those are steps. You just gotta like slowly, because you'll start off like that, and then it'll start to look natural, more natural if you're not rigid, or And that's why I was like, my advice to James Ewens was, you're doing ballet, you're doing this, I have a lot of respect for people, so much respect for people that can try different styles, because you're not then locked into just one, one way of doing something. It's almost like learning different languages. How good is that? Just being bilingual, or just bi or multilingual. Just if you can, the more languages you can speak, the better off you are. You're able to travel to places and communicate. You won't find it difficult. You know what I mean? So I think it's like the same thing for me. I feel with dance, if you're able to learn, be open to learning new things, new styles, new movements, being more limber, just the better you are as a dancer.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But I'm sure there's people out there that would, maybe there are people that would disagree with what I'm saying, but that's my take on it. That's how I understand it anyway.
I think majority of people in this day and age in the dance industry, no matter what style or genre, I think that like most people agree with that statement now. Like you have to be diverse, you have to be good at multiple things, or at least give it a try. That's at least the minimum.
Because how long are you going to just be basic, right? You're just going to be basic. Like if I stuck with my hip hop roots, correct? Like if I just stuck with that, would I have been able to do something like that? See?
Yeah.
It's like, it's because I was open to different styles. And so Afro, if you ask me the question, when did I actually like start Afro fusion, this would have been 2015. I started exploring this style of dance. I had seen it before. I've seen my folks dance before, but it wasn't like, like performance level type dancing on stage and like these traditional dances. No, wasn't like that. But what I saw, the food that I ate, the environment that I was in. So this was us. So this was me speaking out to like people out here in Canberra that I've grown up with. That's Sameer back there, by the way, to my left, and that's Ruby to my right, and that's us. That's Wiz. He's actually from Wollongong. He's a dancehall dancer, but he gave, Afro a crack and hip hop, because this bit right here, actually, that is hip hop right there. And Sameer, credit to Sameer for that part right there, because it did,
Thanks, man.
blend in. Yeah,
There's a little switch up.
Yeah. So I had Afro that I taught in the beginning of this routine, and then Sameer just pretty much just like added on top of the Afro. So, and that was our idea, was to like bring those styles together. Exactly. And so Ruby hadn't done Afro before. Yeah. You hadn't done Afro before.
Yeah, I'd done one class, I think, with you, and I was yeah.
You did. Yes, you did take a class before, but you hadn't actually shot it before like that, and we hadn't danced together and shot it like that. So it was great. This was fantastic, and that's my whole idea of just bringing people together and continuing to grow our dance community, especially here in Canberra, because it's lacking. Yeah.
There's dances. It's there. There's like terms of social media. There's people that can film. There's videographers. There's photographers. Everything's there. It's just the bringing people together.
Yes, that's the hard bit.
It just feels so like. That's play, impossible. That's culture break, that's fresh funk, that's dance central. It's like, man, it's dance. Like,
this is the politics that I'm talking about, Sameer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
like, you see what happened. Culture break. Yeah, culture break. We are Afro dancers. Me and Pascal, we teach Afro dance classes. But culture break, I don't know who. I think it must have been. I don't know. Francis must have called up some dancer from Sydney to come into Canberra and teach Afro, not knowing that this person that he was bringing over to Canberra was a student of ours. He was a student. She was a student of ours at some point. She was learning off us as well. And so you've gone and sought, for dancers out there in Sydney, bring them in here, and then, which is fine, but also recognize that there is raw talent where you live, and encourage it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just encourage growth in your community, and then go out there, go outside of your own community, and continue to grow it there as well, and there too.
Yeah.
So whether it's Sydney, I don't know, Brisbane, continue to expand. Who knows what culture break could be, This is like, who knows what play could be, who knows what fresh funk could be, if we could all like connect like that and just grow. And this is why I feel like we don't see it so much as we're still at our early stages to recognize dance as a true, like, really, like, profession, because if you go to places like Las Vegas, places like that, man, there are choreographers out there those are their full-time jobs. That's it. They're recognized, professional, this, that. It's not like a 9-to-5 job out in the office. You're cha. Yeah, it's just like that. Their jobs are just like that. It's not just a job where you're here, you teach your dance, and then you go home, and you're only getting.
So is that the next sort of
that should be the next
guys,
step?
Like get going professional with this and
absolutely
traveling the world
because
and see what happens.
Yes, because we're bringing happiness to the community. We're bringing diversity to the community. That already exists, but this is like a different dimension of it. You've tasted the food. At Multicultural Festival, you've seen people perform, but have you tried yourself? Have you tried to take dance classes?
Yeah.
Have you done that? So you see, I've got friends that do hip hop, rapping, Kojo. Citizen K. When we used to work back then, man, Citizen K always had this drive. Yeah, do you want to come over and we can record? You know what I mean? But for me, I didn't have that drive. Mine was different. Like I just could not rap.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing. I just didn't have that in me, But he had this energy that was like, yeah, you can do it, bro. You can do it. Just come through. We'll record. And then I didn't have that drive at the time. So somehow I took up my own interest, and it was dance, and I explored more on that. And my part at the time.
So you saying we might be hearing some rap from you soon?
I don't know. Maybe Citizen K can be my mentor and can teach me how to do these things. I don't know. But the point is, we supported each other. I've been to a few, not many. I've been to a few of Citizen K's gigs, and the most recent one that I went to, I'm so guilty to say this, because it was a while ago. It was a long while ago. Was the one that he had over at ANU, and I was there. And bro, it just I'm so proud. I'm so proud to, like, when you see raw talent from home, people that you've grown up with, you know, and you encourage them. That puts you. It makes you feel good, doesn't it? That's the essence of life right there, aren't we? What are we here for? What are we here for, Sameer? You know, are you just here to work a 9-to-5 job? Go home, have your cup of coffee. I mentioned this to you last time we were chatting. 9-to-5 job. Go home, have a coffee, watch the news for like, you know, half an hour to an hour, and then go to sleep, and then wake up the next day and the same thing. Go, you know what I mean? Just go work 9 to 5, and then same thing come. Life should really be interesting. We're here for a limited time. We might as well enjoy, you know, what we have here while we're here. You know, because when we're gone, the people that love us are gonna miss us. You know, so I'm leaving behind a legacy. I've planted a seed in a lot of people. For me, honestly, if I left Canberra and I went elsewhere, I would still remember my people here in Canberra. I'd remember you, Sameer, because, you know, it's like I have this sentimental attachment to Culture Break, and I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? I've always been there for my people. You know what I mean? I always will rep my people. I'll rep them. I'll represent them. No matter where I go, I'll still say, you know, yep, this is where I started. Years from now, 5 years from now, if I do happen to, you know, maybe start living in Brisbane, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but if I'm asked in an interview that where did you actually start off, I'll say I started off in Canberra. I'm proud, you know.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah, and then where you actually originally from? I'm originally from Uganda.
Yeah.
You know, it's eastern part of Africa. I'm proud.
Yeah, that's my heritage.
And so exactly.
Yeah.
And so you should be too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
so yeah, we should just go on with this sort of positive vibe, and to just let people know that, you know what I mean, you can be someone too. You already are someone, actually.
Yeah.
You're just
It's a great,
You
yeah.
don't become
sentiment.
somebody, you
Yeah.
are somebody.
Yeah, you are somebody. We've always mentioned that on
Yeah.
our Culture Break.
And a great place to end it, I think. Been going for a while. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
That's been awesome. Thanks for talking, and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Oh,
Absolutely.
we look forward to seeing what the future holds for all of us.
Yeah. Be interesting.